Let me just say that this episode was pure heat even before Yamamoto decided to put on the big boy pants and slap some fools, making it look so casual in the process. But the end of the episode when he did come in and the after the credits moment, saving my boy Kenpachi moments before his death, after he basically slapped his giant dong on the table saying he killed 3 very easily, just highlighting how OP he truly is. Next week is going to be a banger. No matter which side has the upper hand, it is going to be insane. Now, full live reaction available on the Patreon if you're interested, but let's kick into this episode because for a while I've been saying here that I expect by the time my boy Ichigo does come to Soul Society, they're mostly gonna be dead. I mean, in a matter of minutes, they killed thousands. Like, they were wiping the floor. You can't use your Bankai, it gets sealed away. There just wasn't a lot of hope. In a weird way, had our head captain not suffered the loss he did in the second episode or so, I don't know if this rage would have popped up. Not to say he wouldn't be upset to see the massacre that's occurred, but it's the salt in the wound that has turned him into someone so pissed off that I honestly fear for anyone who gets in his way. Not saying he can't be defeated, not saying he couldn't be killed, but at this point, the fact that your people who were moments away from death, giving up because who the hell wants to fight anymore after literally getting your asses handed to you in such a brutal way. You see Iron Man flying through the damn sky in a blaze of glory. Everyone gets up and says, we got our second win, bitches, we're ready to kick some ass and take some names. And just to see the flashback and how well utilized it was, this is one of those moments that I can only imagine is like well fleshed out, added some extra details from the manga. I read the manga up till his arc, so this is all new content for me. But given the way Bleach has gone about this arc and what I've heard about it, it just feels to me like that's one of those moments that probably got amplified from the source material, because the utilization of just taking someone who's like, you know what, I'm not going to be mentored under you because then I'm just going to become you. No, I want to be someone who compensates for the things you don't have. And I'm like, damn, if that isn't a big dick move, I don't know what is. And to see the scar that he ends up giving our boy and how like the name change and everything, and then to see some scumbag use that same ability against anyone, and let alone himself. To see him walk out after being engulfed in what looks like electricity, a prison of electricity, and within a matter of seconds. You see, I thought his head was going to explode. I thought that was going to be the brutal. No. A wall of flame erupts, and I'm sitting here like, holy shit. This just went from an absolute massacre, which, don't get me wrong, it still was. They lost so many characters in a matter of minutes. But the fact that you pissed off a man with that much power and that much rage now combined, holy shit, this is going to be incredible. And had he not popped up at the end, Kenpachi would have died. I mean, I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. He had him by the throat ready to do the killing blow, and it looked like he was down for the count. Not to discredit Kenpachi in any way, he literally came into the fight with 3 bodies and they're like, how the hell did you kill it? And his explanation killed me. You have a giant monkey that was just nothing to him, then you have someone who... I just love the fact that he's like, you know what, it wasn't too bad after that, but the real challenge for me was when you actually brought someone who could mimic me, because fighting myself, that's actually a challenge. But still, nothing can beat the real one, right? Yeah, like, Kenpachi's just someone who ever since his introduction in Bleach just stole the show with his personality, and to just, within the past couple of episodes, highlight, like, no one could do anything to any of these warriors, right? And then in comes Kenpachi with 3 bodies. It just reinforces how strong he was, and why at different points in the story, like, he rivaled Ichigo in power without much struggle just because he's that insane. But then to quickly at the end of the episode show, even that's not even close enough, it really does put into perspective the wall of flame, just to get that sense of power, that authority, like this is the real matchup here. This is the one, if anyone's gonna get a jump on this man, it's gonna be our captain Yamamoto, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. We had Ichigo in this episode basically freaking out, trying to break free, nothing working. There's a moment in this episode where, you know, what seemed to be like him about to break out, there was like a green glow going on. So that seems to be an indicator that he might be breaking out, but obviously only time will tell. You know, the bastard who, just the fact that he gets so casually cut, not really in half because it's more on like one side of the face. There's just so many moments in this episode that could be the star of an episode if you really ask 100 people. There could be just 100 different answers because the entire episode is just chock full of them. But I think my overall favorite part of this episode has to be Fear. The voice actor who voices this guy, I did not expect this level of quality. I think it's the same voice actor who did Kirito from Sword Art Online, as well as potentially Inosuke from Demon Slayer. Just the fact that you have this level of just fear, someone to just seep into your soul. If you listen with headphones when this man's speaking, like, it is honestly bone chilling. And the visualization of the flies, the initial like swarm of bodies, and you just see a body in the background almost like a statue, and then it crawls into the mouth. There is such an attention to detail with the whole concept of fear. And it was bone chilling because Renji, I mean, had this like wrestler looking character not come in and kicked him, threw him away, he probably would have lost his Bankai there. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that that would be his only move. And I love the fact that, you know, the man who kicked him didn't even realize that he had it, because it's like, oh, I thought only captains had it, sort of a thing. But it was just great to see all the different pieces, because what I was expecting from this episode was just more of the same of the past couple. More characters dead. I mean, seemingly that just kept happening. We're seeing big names either dead or on death's doorstep, and it just, I thought that's where we were going. And I think that's what makes the directing so good, because it's always darkest before the dawn. That's a common phrase you'll hear in moments like these, and that's kind of what Yamamoto felt like in this moment. You know, someone who has a lot of guilt. If only I killed someone years back, this would never happen. I lost arguably one of the most important people to me recently. I'm getting blamed. And then you take that rage and you throw it on the people causing the ruckus right now, and he can grieve, he can mourn, he can be punished later. All he knows is that rage is going to be the difference between life and death for so many, and as we see, is the moral boost that gives most people who were ready to either give up or thought they had no energy left to say, bitch please, you don't win until everyone has drawn their last breath. And that is absolutely what you want to see in Bleach's 1,000-Year Blood War. Truthfully, I think Bleach is still at its absolute best. It kicked off in one of the most interesting ways an arc has kicked off in Bleach, but just what we're seeing, the characterization in the midst of so much insane action, people using these bankais against either the user they stole it from, or against people you don't want to cross and piss off. It's just really cool to see where they've taken this arc so far, and the fact that the animation and art design has held strong. Sure, you can nitpick some shots here and there, but as a whole, like, this is why seasonal breaks, you know, we're having 4 cores of this show, and it's split up into 3-month gaps, and that's exactly what a show like this needs to keep the quality up, and it hasn't dipped in my opinion, outside of a select few shots that you can nitpick, but there's no use nitpicking when a majority of the episode is just goddamn impressive. But thoughts and feelings, ideas on where it might go from here, if you don't know the source, of course, do let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. You can also consider supporting the Patreon. Like I mentioned, you can see today's full live reaction available there, and you can also get video shoutouts like a few notable people are getting today. We got Zeno, DrWomanRespecter, you gotta love that, and Michael Goodley. So I appreciate the support, so until next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.